India's manufacturing sector continues to show resilience despite hurdles. According to the FICCI Manufacturing Survey, the manufacturing sector growth is expected to sustain for 6 to 9 more months. The survey also highlights that existing average capacity utilization of over 70% reflects sustained economic activity. As per the survey, 94% respondents said that they are facing a rise in production cost, but 61% respondents also said higher production levels in Q2 are being witnessed. About 40% respondents reported plans for capacity addition in the next 6 months. The survey also highlights that hiring remains below potential as 36% of respondents are looking at additional workforce. The survey points that higher raw material costs and increased cost of finance are some of the reasons that are affecting expansion plans of Indian manufacturers. The World Bank could soon announce a big investment towards promoting green hydrogen. Sources tell CNBC-TV18 the World Bank is in talks with the Prime Minister's office. Parikshit Luthra is standing by with more in the CNBC-TV18 exclusive news break. Parikshit.
Well, CNBC-TV18 has learned from sources that the World Bank could soon launch a global coalition on hydrogen. World Bank officials are in talks with the Prime Minister's office about the hydrogen initiative. Promoting hydrogen energy in India could be a big focus of the World Bank's program. In response to a CNBC-TV18 query, the World Bank said that they are seeing a strong demand for assistance from client countries for developing hydrogen programs and confirmed that the World Bank would soon launch a new hydrogen partnership. The program would be managed by the Energy Sector Management Assistance Program. World Bank will be making a substantial commitment to this initiative, and the effort would be to bring together best practices on hydrogen energy relevant to clients and also provide advice and capacity building on policy and project development. The World Bank's commitments could actually spur even greater private sector investment. That's what the statement told CNBC-TV18. The Prime Minister, remember, had launched the Green Hydrogen Mission on the 15th of August 2021, and the centre has allotted 20,000 crores for the hydrogen program. Sources say the government is soon likely to allocate 12,000 crore for a PLI scheme for green hydrogen and electrolyzers out of this outlay.
Parikshit, many thanks for joining us. With influence in nearly a third of the state's constituencies, the apple-growing community are a very important factor when Himachal Pradesh goes to the polls on the 12th of November. These apple growers are said to be unhappy with the ruling BJP, while the Congress and AAP claim to have solutions. Santya Gora gets us a reality check from the poll-bound state.
Himachal Pradesh is known for its apple orchards. The fruit crop plays a major role in the state's economy. India's overall apple production is 2.4 million metric tons, out of which over 26% comes from Himachal. Apple production generates revenue of around 5,000 to 5,500 crore rupees in Himachal, contributing around 5% to the state's GDP. But the industry has been going through a tough phase for the last few years. 47-year-old Rinku Chauhan grows apple on his 8-acre orchard. The increasing cost of production has hit his earnings.
जो 800 का कट्टा था, मतलब जैसे मान के आज मतलब डबल हो चुका है, सीधा 1500-1600 रुपये वो खाद का कट्टा हो चुका है। उसी तरह कार्टन है, कार्टन का भी वही है, मतलब 20-30% तो कम से कम उतना तो बढ़ा ही अभी 1 साल में वो महंगा हो गया है। तो इससे मतलब हमारे खर्चा बढ़ गया है, लागत ज़्यादा है, मतलब इनकम कम है। मतलब मार्केट में जो सेब हमारे जो जा रहा है वो उस दाम में नहीं जा रहा जैसे जाना चाहिए था, वो पैसा नहीं मिल रहा है।
There are multiple issues at play, but GST on packaging material, which went to 18% as compared to 12% pre-GST, is blamed as a big issue. There were COVID lockdowns which interrupted exports, and then this year's bumper crop hit prices and revenues.
यहाँ 18 प्राइवेट कंपनीज काम कर रही है, उनके दामों में फ्लक्चुएशन होती रहती है बार बार। मार्केटिंग सिस्टम का कोई कंट्रोल गवर्नमेंट का नहीं है, कभी दाम बढ़ जाते हैं, कभी घट जाते हैं। और हमारा एक और मांग है कि भाई यहाँ न्यूनतम मूल्य जो है सेब का तय कर दिया जाए।
The community is also unhappy with the growing influence of organized private players. Apple growers believe that the private players are allowed to operate without proper checks and balances.
In terms of the final prices that the farmers fetch, they do impact. If you look at the YOY scenario, the prices by the large players were set around 72 rupees per kg last year. That was brought up to about 76 rupees per kg this year. And then with the supply glut coming into the market, that was revised downwards.
The ruling BJP believes that it has done everything to help the apple farmers.
ऐसे में कोशिश की है हमने, जो मदद कर सकते थे, जिस रूप में कर सकते थे, जितनी कर सकते थे वो हमने करने की कोशिश की। इसमें सभी तरह के बागबान थे ऐसा भी नहीं था। ये राजनीतिक दृष्टि से कुछ लोग इकट्ठा होकर के इसको मुद्दा बनाने की फिराक में थे।
Though the Congress is claiming that it will pay special attention to the needs of apple growers, the party doesn't seem to have a concrete plan.
We will form a committee, a high-powered committee, which will be headed by the Chief Secretary, and all the members of the progressive growers and associations, they will be part of it. And they will be the one who will take a call on the minimum support price.
The apple growing community realizes that as of now, these parties are making tall claims and unrealistic promises.
The apple growing community of Himachal Pradesh has its influence on 20 out of 68 constituencies of the state. The community is one of the most significant vote bank of Himachal Pradesh, and that's exactly why all these political parties are trying really hard to impress them. All these political parties are making all sort of claims and promises, but the community is still waiting for these parties to come up with an actual concrete plan to resolve their issues. In Khadapattar, Himachal Pradesh, with camera person Balbir Singh, this is Santhya for CNBC-TV18.
And staying with the Himachal elections, the BJP released its manifesto for the state over the weekend, promising a uniform civil code, 5 new medical colleges in the state, and also a slew of incentives for women specifically. It's called the Stri Patra that the BJP has put forward. A 900 crore rupee fund for skill development is also part of the manifesto at a time when so-called freebies have come under the radar of the Election Commission. The BJP has promised bicycles for school-going girls and plenty more, scooters as well for college-going girls. So the bulk of the incentives are being tailored or customized for women. So that is the latest there as far as the BJP's Sankalp Patra or manifesto is concerned for the state of Himachal Pradesh. Well, from elections in Himachal to the US, we do have the midterm elections in the US kicking off, where it is going to be a tough fight for the Democrats. These elections are crucial for President Biden and his legislative agenda. Currently, the Democrats control both the Senate and the House of Representatives. Opinion polls suggest the Republicans are likely to wrest control of the House, and the Senate race is promising to be a cliffhanger. With the clock ticking, President Biden, former President Trump hitting the campaign trail.
Biden will spend this last full day before Election Day campaigning in Maryland, while former President Trump will hit the road and hold a rally in Ohio. A final pitch to voters in the final days leading into a crucial midterms.
This election isn't a referendum, it's a choice. It's a choice between two fundamentally different visions of America.
On the campaign trail, President Biden is touting his administration's investments in climate, warned of threats to democracy, and praised job gains under Democratic leadership. This weekend was filled with last-minute campaigning by Mr. Biden and past presidents in the Keystone State. At Republican rallies, former President Trump, who's poised to make another run at the White House, putting the blame on those in power now for Americans' economic woes.
If you want to stop the destruction of our country and save the American dream, then this Tuesday you must vote Republican in a giant red wave.
The final NBC News poll before Election Day shows President Biden's approval at only 44%.
This election is about the Biden agenda. People don't like high inflation, high crime, open borders, fentanyl.
Abortion is also on the ballot and is among the key issues Democrats are focusing on.
We're going to defend our mainstream democratic values against the threats to our democracy. We're going to protect women's reproductive freedom and voting rights.
In our latest NBC News poll, election enthusiasm is now dead even at 73% for both Republicans and Democrats. With less than 24 hours until Election Day and control of Congress at stake, both parties are doing everything they can to sway last-minute voters.
Well, that's going to be important to watch out for the midterm elections in the US. With that, it is time for us to wrap up this edition of Business 360. Stay tuned. There's a lot more coming up on CNBC TV 18 on the other side.